Hello and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, taking a Cessna 172 from Australia all the way to the UK whilst consuming local cuisine from around the world, wherever we may be. And today we are starting from Alice Springs. We have been moved to one of the ramp spots, not the helipad, where we finished last time, and we are going to be taking a VFR flight to Tennant Creek, which I believe is here. Is that Tennant Creek? No, that is not Tennant Creek. Good start. I've lost which one it is. I know it's one of these. I know it's one of you. Doesn't matter because let me show you the route. Let me just bring it up for myself so I can explain it. So you see Alice Springs at the bottom of this map here, and we're basically going to be taking that 87 road. We're just going to be following that road the entire way up to Tennant Creek, and just north of that, where it actually says Tennant Creek, is where the airport itself is, I believe, anyway. So we're not going to be using maps. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting route because if we go off that road at all, we have no other points of reference whatsoever. We are strictly following that road. And the biggest problem is this particular part here, where the road splits off. We just have to make sure that we follow this road on a roughly, I don't know, what would you call that heading? About 30, 31, something like that. And avoid the train tracks, I think, as the right arrow. I believe those are train tracks, so those follow the road up until that point. Then we see another road come off there, the 12 road. Got to make sure we avoid that. The airport itself, we're going to be coming in and landing either at runway 29 or 07, depending on wind conditions. So there you have it. That is today's plan. And then obviously we will have something to eat once we arrive at Tennant Creek. All right, so let's go. So I'd also like to point out we are taking some cargo this time as well on FSEconomy. We've got 98 kilos of cargo, and we will get just under $2,000 for that. So no passengers, but cargo is just fine. Probably just as well, given my awful flying. I think taking passengers would be a little bit scary for them. Okay, and here we are. It is a rather lovely day again. Gone for live weather, apparently it's clear skies. Obviously I have to do custom time of day because we can't actually, I don't want to be flying at night just yet. And it is the middle of the day for me. Oops, got a little bit wild there. Okay, the Cessna is still in one piece. It's time to do our startup checklist. Let's go ahead and actually, do you know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to actually start up FSEconomy, because that way it'll immediately give me the correct amount of fuel. I don't need to worry about the rental cost because, well, it's my craft, isn't it? What am I going to do? Pay myself? There we go, we got our cargo aboard, 98 kilos, fantastic. Okay, menu please, let's have a look at this checklist. We're going to do the before starting engine. I think this time we're just going to keep it fairly basic. I'll go through the checklist in one particular video later, probably. So pre-flight inspection, let's say we've done that. Seatbelt, don't think we need that. Brakes, well I assume they're working. At least that's working. Electronic equipment must be off. Looks all off to me. Yep. Avionics are off. Fuel selectors on both. Yes, it is. Fuel shut-off valve open. Where is that? That's not the fuel shut-off valve. What is the... Oh, that. Open fuel shut-off valve. Interesting. Don't remember seeing that one. Is it here anywhere? Throttle, 1/4 of an inch. That'll do. Mixture, idle cut off. Alright, standby battery switch. You've probably seen all this last time, but we'll do it again anyway. Test that for 20 seconds. Alright, that's 20 seconds. And let's go ahead and arm it. Lovely. Switch that off. Fantastic. Okay, good start. Let's check some parameters, shall we? Engine indicating system, the usual bits. Bus E-volts, above 24, good. Below 1.5, fantastic. Battery discharge -5. Is that more than it was last time? I feel like it is. Standby battery annunciator, yes, that is on, good. Propeller area is fairly clear. Master battery, on baby. On you come. The beacon needs to be on. Master battery, alt, we've already done that, haven't we? Wait, I'm going backwards here, sorry, excuse me. You want mixture rich? Rich, really? Auxiliary fuel pump for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. Just had to be held in. Okay. Let's now lean the mixture. What was that? Oil pressure? I know. That was weird. Feet ready to brake. Ignition start. That's not good. Let's up our mixture. Is the oil pressure that's preventing us from starting? Let's give it one more go. Alright. Might have to change the time of day. Unless I'm just missing something really obvious, but I don't think so. Oh, it's because the fuel shut-off valve, isn't it? That's why. It's because I bloody didn't open this. Don't know why. Is that contradictory? Fuel shut-off valve. Open. Open fuel shut-off valve. That to me says yeah, and then close. Yeah, mixture control 100%. You know, to me that means it's closed, right? Do you know what I mean? Open fuel shut-off valve. Open. I don't know. It's a bit weird. All right, I'm going to go through this again, and I'll see you on the other side. There we go. That's all it took. Bring that right back. Let's try not to kill this guy. We are going to need a little bit of a pushback, aren't we? Never really used this before, but we'll see how that goes. And we need, mixture rich. Okay. Can we have that off, please? Good. Alright, after the engine started, adjust for 1000 RPM. Bring it back slightly. Oil pressure. Well, that's not on, so that's weird. Oh, okay, it's over here. Yeah, good. Lovely. I believe that's what you meant. There we go. Avionics bus 1 and 2. Good, and flaps they should be up. They are up. Fantastic. Alright, lighting feels a bit pointless right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go nav light and strobe light. I mean, it's so damn bright out there. This is earlier in the day and it's actually even hotter. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that debacle with this. I don't quite know why it told me to open it, unless of course it meant it's open as in it's in. Like, to me that's worded the wrong way round, but I don't know. Maybe I'm an idiot, is most likely what it is. Alright, we will come to that another time. Okay, let's just make sure flight controls are looking good. You can see the rudders there. Plane pulls up, pushes down. Lovely. We've got our cargo aboard. We've got fuel as well. Have a look there. We've got 40 gallons today, which is basically 4 hours worth of fuel for a 2.5-hour flight. I believe that's the way it's going to be. What about wind? We're looking at a gentle crosswind, so really no problem at all. Let's go ahead and bring up the map here. We're not really going to use this map once we take off. We're probably best coming down here using this runway. Taking off, yeah, we'll take off on the shorter runway. Okay. Hello, mister. Would you like to give me a pushback? What is it? ATC, isn't it? ATC. Ground services. Tune to ground. Okay, request pushback. Hey, dude. Yes. Pushback request accepted. You gonna push me back? Okay, not sure what this guy's doing. A little bit, potentially a little bit dangerous. Whatever. Right, let's bring up the map again. I'm wondering maybe if we do actually just want to take off here, spin around, and we're looking for this water for now. And actually I think this is the road that we're looking at following, so if we do get lost, I guess we can just follow that. I wouldn't mind maybe switching off some of the avionics to make it more of a challenge. So if we switch off this, don't judge me, dude. Looking kind of smug, aren't you? Wow, this is a mighty fast pushback. Alright, well, where do we want to go? We kind of just want to be... Dude! What are you doing? Just walking through the plane. That can't be good for you. Or the plane. Alright. We want to... steer... Okay, if I say steer left, that means this way, right? Yes, good. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking at. Going to get onto that yellow line there so that we can just go ahead and, I don't know, go that way round over there. And you know, we are just going to fly off from this runway here. Why not? But this is the most painful pushback I've ever seen. Alright, whatever. I'm done with this. Enough pushback. We can do the rest ourselves. Come on, out you go. And away you go, please. I'll tell him to go away. Going away. This guy here. What? Dude! You're a madman. Go away. Let me see if I can spook him. Yes, what's that loud sound? Is it my engine? Is it bothering you? Don't act like I'm not here. There's not much we can do about him. Oh, okay. It was all an illusion. Well, this is off to a very strange start, I have to say. Alright, let's set our parameter. That's good. Yeah, that looks like the right altitude to me. We're looking at probably flying at about 4,000 feet, I reckon. No more than that, maybe even less, because we are just following one little road, aren't we? This road here, I believe. So let's go ahead and take off the parking brake. And spin it round. Yeah, don't think I'm going to be using the pushback again anytime soon. Let's see why on earth I'm going to be doing that. Look, dude. Look, these guys. What's wrong with them? Oh, no, hang on. Excuse me. Do you mind? No, probably should have gone around the other way. Am I in the wrong? I probably am. It's probably me. Oops. Should we stop focusing on the cars? That was their plan all along, wasn't it? Did we just destroy something in the airport? You know what? That's what you get. That's what you get. Honestly, these guys. Yeah, let's just follow this here around. Slow it down a little bit. Going a little bit quickly. Alright, and off to the runway. We're just going to make this a flying start. Not going to be using any autopilot for now. We will set all of that later. Let's just bring it in. Fully leaned. We may need to pull the mixture out because of how hot it is. As you can hear, it doesn't sound like the way it should be. There we go. Just lean it ever so slightly. You should never really lean on a takeoff, but the thinness of the air isn't so good for the plane, so also good for the engine. What is our RPM anyway? Pretty low, especially at full throttle. I lean it some. Marginally better. Marginally better. Alright, let's spin it around. Not literally, of course. Going a little bit slow here. So what we want to do is we kind of just want to find the center of Alice Springs. Bring it back here. You can see a lot of buildings over there. Let's just make our way towards that. I'm going to try and avoid using the bottom right screen there. I guess if I switch, is it worth the risk? Yeah, we've got everything here. We could always just have everything on one screen. I mean, we can still see it down here, so... Ooh. Yeah, I'm in 1000. Press... Oh, okay, cool. Alright, fine, whatever. Alright, and we're just going to maintain this nice 70 knot climb here. Looking really good. RPMs are starting to come back a bit, so... Bit too much there. I said we are reducing our fuel flow, which I like. I'm the one paying for it after all. So we should have some water on the right hand side if I'm not mistaken. I do have Google Maps open, so I can sort of follow where I'm going here. I believe we should be going right through the centre of it. Not yet. Once we see a little river coming in, then we know we're on the right track. I think what we'll do is we'll get to about 3,500. We're going to get ourselves to, and then we'll hold that altitude if we can. Try and trim the plane out. But yeah, we're flying in very high temperatures. You can see there the oil temperature is alarmingly high, so we may even need to raise the altitude a little bit more just to bring the outside air temperature down a bit. Everything else seems okay. Pressure seems good. Pressure seems absolutely fine. There we go, let's bring it back. Hold that, let it bring the airspeed up. There we go. Start pushing it down now. Trimming the nose down as the airspeed rises. There we go, there we go. Now we can see our water feature here. That's what we want to follow. This goes right through the centre, and it should even run adjacent to the road, which I'm guessing is this bit here. So we're probably going to want to bring the throttle out. Maybe not that much. Don't know why it's not showing the throttle coming out, but as long as it's doing what I want it to do, then I'm fine with that. Bring it up just a touch, because that's a little bit too slow. Alright, I see water and I maybe see our road. This is arguably our road, and I think it is. Heading the right direction. Oh, bumpy. Hello. Oh, a little bit of turbulence. At least that's what I'd call it. I'd call that turbulence. Okay. So the water goes off here. The road, I think it's this road here we're following. As it goes off there, the road then goes off to the left. So we're going to stay this side of the road. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Seem to be holding our altitude quite nicely, as well as a good 100 knots. This is it. This is going to be my marker for the entire journey. We're going to be following this road. That's it. I don't see this road that comes off at the top here, but whatever. I still think this is it. Spins off to the left and then it should go straight up again in a bit. Yeah, look, you can see it going off up there. So continue to follow it along like so. Okay, it looks like it's going up that way. Get a little bit closer to it so we don't lose it, because it's very tough to tell with all these lines. I said it should... I screenshot where I am on the map now. Road should sort of come up this way. Yeah, this line is definitely it. This line is definitely it. believe it's that road here. At least I hope so. Or is it this? Might have lost it already. Come to think about it, that looks like it there. That's not it, this is just a dirt path. Yeah, that's the road there. It's that line there, the dark line. Yeah, that's it. What's that alongside it then? Can't really see cars on it. That's the railroad, okay. And there it goes there. Alright, fine. We have found our road. And it is definitely this line here, so we're going to be good no matter what. Now we are losing altitude ever so slightly, so let's try and bring it back up a bit. Keep it at 3,500. And we are on our way. So here we're at an area called Burt Plain, which is this, has a junction here. That's the road that comes off the side of it, just for more confirmation that we are definitely on the right road. It'd be nice to see some cars down there, but I don't have many cars set at the moment. The number of vehicles that appear is quite low. I could easily raise it given the fact that we are not dealing with a lot of scenery, so we can probably afford to have it a little bit higher. Alright, I will see you next when we get to that junction that I was worried about earlier. Okay, so I think we are approaching the bit where the road here separates from the train tracks over here. You can see on the original screenshot that the road sort of goes straight up north, and then it splits off to the left, separating itself from the train tracks, and that appears to be shown here. You can see that there's the train tracks, and there's the road that will then split off to the left, and then we should shortly after that see the 12 road come off from this road here. So we're pretty much going to fly this heading here, and then we're going to go, do you know what, maybe we should go the other side actually of the road here, so that we can see the 12 road clearly coming straight off from it. So we'll wait till we get just a little bit closer past this line here. I'm going to use that as my reference point, and then we're going to sort of come along here next to the road. So I do need to give ourselves enough room to see it. I am flying in autopilot now, so let's go ahead and turn our heading. Not sure what sort of heading we're looking at. Let's try this. Keep going. We're at 30. That looks about right. 315. Alright, and I think we can see the 12 road now here. You can see it goes perfectly straight off at a 90-degree angle from it. Then it makes a slight left turn here, round there, before heading straight up. That appears to be it here, so we definitely know that we are on the right track. But we've got plenty more ground to cover before we reach Tennant Creek, which is around this junction here, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. So, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy what limited scenery I have, and I'll see you when I get closer to the airport. Okay, welcome back, and here we are. You see that little turn in the road there? That is the turn that actually goes basically into Tennant Creek. If we go ahead and we pan out of the map a bit, other way, that's it here. It's actually along here. Should be showing. Whatever, I'm going to use this now. But yeah, you can see it there. You can see it there. I've also got it up on Google Maps, so I might as well just use this at this point. And I'm debating which way to come in and land, because we've got, if we land at runway 29, we're essentially landing in a crosswind. It's only a slight crosswind, but if we land at runway 25, it will basically be a headwind. So I think we're going to go for the headwind. We're going to want to go ahead and turn out this way a bit. I think we're going to want to try and aim for, possibly aim for that. TH, whatever on earth that was, THKWH, with a long name. Right, you need to calm down. It's going crazy. But yeah, it's been a fairly uneventful journey. Just this slight wind has actually helped me get here a little bit quicker. Shaved a little bit of time off, which is just nice. Let's make sure the barometer's okay. Yep, it's good. Looks like it got tweaked ever so slightly. But yeah, let's give us a good true airspeed this wind. Okay, and we're really just going to have to keep a good lookout, because there we go, we can see Tennant Creek now. The airport's just north of that. So we are going to want to lower our altitude. Not by much. Let me just check to see what the altitude of the airport itself actually is. 1,200 feet. 1,200 feet, meaning we're basically flying at about 2,000 feet. So let's go ahead and lower this by 500. Vertical speed mode? No, let's go... yeah, vertical speed mode. We're going to throttle in. We're also going to bring the mixture in a little bit. Don't want to be too low, because I still want to be able to see what I'm looking at. Yeah, we're going to come in, I think, from this angle here. We'll make a sharp banking turn. Probably come out a little bit more this way. Yeah. Heading 010. Once we get to around there, we can see it, how it'll be level with the icon. I might even want to do it a little bit more than that. I don't see no airport yet. Not too sure yet. Give it a bit of time. Yeah, we are going to want to slow down, that's for sure. Once we've leveled out, we'll then slow down, probably take it off autopilot, start flying it myself. And we've got this tailwind blowing us along like it's no one's business. It's not even a strong wind either. 3 knots is pretty tame. I'm going to bring her out of autopilot. I'm going to do it manual from here. I was interested in possibly doing a flight completely manual, but I figured this is probably not the one, since there's not a whole lot to see. I do feel bad for Australia, because I'm not giving it a very good show right now. It's we're looking just at the middle of it, and there's not really much here, whereas I'm sure if we were along the, so let's say the east coast, we're going to get some pretty spectacular views. I know I've seen plenty of spectacular views just from playing GeoGuessr. Get some interesting places. But yeah, never mind. Alright. So we're looking alright. We're obviously not far out at all. Carry on slowing down. Bring our airspeed right down. We are going to want to mixture control right in. Still going a little bit fast. Is that a gap in the ground? That looks like it is. Ooh. Been a lot of that. Continue with this heading, then we'll make a final turn. We're probably going to want to just lower our altitude a little bit more. We're probably at about, if we go 3,000, that means we will be at an altitude of about 1,800. So actually, yeah, we're going to want to carry on lowering our altitude a bit here. Not that much though, steady Eddie. At about 500 feet a minute would be fine. Yeah, there we go. Nice and steady. Any sign of a runway? There it is. There it is. We're going for that one there. Could left turn now. But we're going to go for that headwind, just to make it a little bit easier for us. So we're now at about, what would be 1,500 feet. Let's try and keep our altitude the same. Just carry on lowering our airspeed so that we can lower the flaps. Now, am I meant to lower the flaps once I'm on my sort of final? I think I am, you know, so this is fine though, we can carry on at this sort of speed. Give it a little bit more throttle just to maintain it. Just under 80 knots is perfect for me right now. So there's the runway there. I wonder what it's like living somewhere where there is absolutely no water around, really. There's a tiny bit around here. I don't see it. Right, we're going to start making that turn now. Just very gently, we're almost there. We'll have a very gentle banking turn. Should do. Oh look, there's that water. In the middle of Australia. Well, not really now, we're kind of in the northern part of it. Okay. Turned a little bit too soon, that's no problem. We'll just level it out here until it gets to, I guess around here. Maybe we'll lower those flaps now. A bit more throttle. There we go. Okay. So the wind should help. So it's almost it's coming in from this direction here. It's going to be very close to a headwind. Still a slight crosswind. But generally speaking, it should be a fairly comfortable landing. And the throttle back down, carry on lowering our altitude. Just want to line up the runway a little bit better because we are off center. There we go. That's about right. Right, let's kill that throttle again. Keep it steady. Do we have any lights on the side? It looks like we do, and it looks like we've got 4 whites if I'm not mistaken. So we want to really kill our altitude a little bit. Coming in a little bit high, but that's fine. Coming in a little bit fast as well. Really cut it. That's cool. This is yeah, a little bit high, but still. Bit more throttle. Still going way too fast. Right, let's pull it up a bit. Should lower our speed. So fast. Definitely not a good landing. It's not a good approach, rather. At least we can hopefully nail the landing. Yeah. I feel like it sounds like that every time I land. In other words, I'm not a very good pilot. Alright, where are we going? Because I don't see anything around here. I don't see an airport at all. I guess that's all an airport. Right, we'll just go onto the ground. Doesn't really matter. If we get sand on this thing, I mean it's yellow anyway, right? Okay, anyway, let's jump back in. Flaps up. Was he doing it the wrong way there? Oops. I just don't see any, I just don't see an airport. Okay, let's zoom right in, because this should help us out. Okay, it's down the end of this runway, right. Makes sense then. Makes sense. No taxiways though? Doesn't appear there is. That's a shame. Maybe I wasn't meant to land that way then. I have a feeling I wasn't meant to land either that way. It's either this runway or the other runway there. It's probably where I'm meant to come into. Alright, that's fine though. It's no problem. Okay, there's the airport itself, or the terminals that is. You can see a bunch of parked aircraft there. That's good. Just swing it around. Here we are. Let's try to find an empty space if we can. There's swans around here. The other side of that blue one there. Bit of a tight squeeze. Guess this will do. Parking brake on. Fantastic, and we did it. We earned our first keep. First money earned in this menu plane. Brilliant. Alright, well, there we go. That was a VFR flight for you. Sort of, I suppose. I mean, we followed one road and that was it. We are now in the northern... Is it Northern Territory? Is that the name of this sort of area? I think it might be. Next time, I'm looking to make a big flight. Rather, looking to make 2 flights. But for now, after that, I'm quite hungry, so I think it's time to have some food. Today, we are making the Aussie meat pie. And here are the ingredients. You're going to need some short crust pastry, puff pastry, an OXO cube, an egg, some flour, Worcestershire sauce, absolutely, and some tomato ketchup to go with your beef mince and an onion. You want some salt and pepper as well, and make sure you get some small pie tins as well, as small as possible, ideally. And the OXO cube, you're basically going to be making 180 millilitres of liquid with that, and that's about 3/4 of a cup. And this recipe I used called for I think 3/4 of a cup of ketchup. I'm only using half a cup. Also, you're going to want to beat that egg as well. I'm going to use that later. Alright, so you're going to want to start off by frying up some oil. Once that is nice and hot, you're going to go ahead and throw in your onion, just for a minute or two. I do hate it when they get all stuck together and I don't break them apart properly. There's one bit there I can see right now that's bugging me. So once that's nice and hot, you're going to throw in your packet of mince. Get rid of the rubbish little paper. Don't want to be eating paper now, do you? Give that a good chop up as well. And cook that until it's nice and brown. And you'll see the liquid start running. You can go for 25% fat beef mince. That's probably better, actually, for this recipe. So I'd probably recommend doing that. And once it's pretty much completely browned, you'll then want to start adding your other ingredients. You're going to start off with 2 tablespoons of plain flour. Like so, make them level tablespoons. Don't go overboard. Cornstarch is better, but I didn't have that available. Give that a good mix in. As soon as that's mixed in, add in your beef stock. And then 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, although I decided to go absolutely crazy on the Worcestershire sauce here. And then I've gone for the half a cup of ketchup. I don't want it to be overly sweet. Give that a good mix. It's going to look all gloopy. And then eventually it should look a little bit like this. Kind of has a golden colour. Then give it a good shake of your salt and pepper. Then you want to leave it there for about 10 minutes, just to simmer, and then turn the heat off. So moving on to the pastry now. You want to get your short crust pastry and your pie tins, and you're going to want to cut circles around them, leaving just a little bit of space here, just outside the pie tin. Sorry, I realise the resolution is pretty awful, but it's the best I can do, I'm afraid. Yeah, so you've got a little bit of space. This is a little bit too much room, and you'll see in a moment. Also, make sure you grease the pie tins, for goodness sake. That was something I forgot here, so I ended up having to take them all out. That's just a little bit of oil around the outside of the pie tin. So as you see here, it's sticking up a little bit too much. You want it just coming up to the top. The bottom section is not so bad, but there's a little bit too much pastry there. So we'll cut a little bit closer to the line, and look at that, that's looking much better. So we do that for all of our pie tins, and then it's moving on to the puff pastry, and you're going to cut very, very close to the pie tin itself because you just want it to cover the top. Cut those up and leave them to the side. You'll then want to put your beef mixture into the pie tins. However, I've put a little bit too much. You can see it's starting to overflow. You want there to be a little gap at the top. And you'll see why later on. What we're going to do now is we're going to baste the edges with egg. So you see that? Just around all the edges. This is kind of going to act as a sealant for your puff pastry and your short crust pastry. Do that for each one. I'm just having to use some kitchen roll because I don't have a proper baster or whatever you call it. Yeah, then go ahead and throw those on top. Give it the old thumb treatment. And then you're going to want to pierce a hole in the middle of each of them. If you're going to do a bigger pie, you might want to put more than one hole in. And then you're going to baste the top of this with more of the egg mixture. And put them in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes on either gas mark 7 or 220 degrees or 420 degrees Fahrenheit. There you go. I gave you all 3 temperatures you could possibly get. No need to go to Google. And they should come out looking a little bit like this, I suppose. These are how mine came out. And unfortunately, they're kind of stuck in the tin. Because I put too much in them, we can't get them out the tin. Now, of course, the Aussie pie won't be complete until we put that ketchup on top. Supposedly, that's something that absolutely makes it. All right, now it's time to give it a try. Oh, yes, listen to that crunch. Very satisfying. Unfortunately, it's a knife and fork job to begin with because it is stuck in the pie tin. Also another reason why you grease the pie tin. But yeah, the pie itself, delicious, I gotta say. It's got a little bit of a sweet edge, which is no surprise given the ketchup. I'm more of a savoury person, but I can definitely see how this would appeal to a lot of people, especially if you've got a bit of a sweet tooth. We even had so much of this left over, we were able to make one bigger pie for dinner, which we simply had like this, with some mixed vegetables served on the side, and that really hit the spot. Well, let me tell you, those pies were absolutely delicious. I mean, we had one of those small pies for lunch, and then the big one for dinner in the same day. Gonna need to go on a little bit of a diet after that, I think. But please do join me next time, where we're going to try and fly in some more adverse weather, I think. We're going to also, like I say, take 2 flights. We're going to make a push for the coast so that we can start exploring some other countries. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.